This is one of the most unreasonably good keyboards I've ever used. Good afternoon, welcome to Turbo Tortoise Tech. If you're new here, I'm Reese of the Form Piece Variety and Walker Triple XL. We have the Marvo Meqa with a Q for the Meqa 80W. Okay, jokes aside, this thing is flipping actually kind of incredible. It's fully modular, it's wireless, it's got 3 Bluetooth modes, 2.4 gigahertz dongle as well. The dimensions fully modular. They've also lubed all of the switches and all of the stabilizers as well. It's got FOC. It's got FOC. It's a 1,000 Rand flipping keyboard. Actually kind of incredible. When I did their Storm keyboard, I was like, that was impressive for what it cost. And then they've made a 75% under the Marvo branding instead of doing it in the Monka one, which is, I don't know, that for me is the only kind of odd choice over here. Other than that though, it's actually like basically a 10 out of 10 product. Anyway, let's go through what's in the box. So inside of the very, very nice bit of packaging that you do get from Uncle Marvo's, there is a keycap puller and a switch puller at the back. It's a 2-in-1 jobber. There's a nice little manual with all of the preset functions and stuff over there, and a quick start guide for how to get it set up with the software. A very nice braided cable with shielding on the liner as well, which is, I don't think, very necessary, honestly, for a keyboard, but it's nice, so it's overkill. And then obviously the keyboard itself. The little dongle also has a little hidey hole in the side of the keyboard. So if you're going to take it with you, being a 75%, something that you could pop in a backpack if you're going to use it with a laptop, then it's kind of killer with that. And then, like I say, it's got those 3 Bluetooth modes. So if you are going to use it with a laptop, then even if you leave the 2.4 dongle at home, you can still use it anywhere with any Bluetooth capable device, which is, it's very cool. These tri-mode connections are really, really growing on me from that facet as well. The keyboard itself is a 75%. It's actually a 74% or 76. I can't remember. It's one way or the other, 1 key more or 1 key less. But it's the sort of default sort of 60%, but it's got the F keys up top. And that's a really good thing because there's a full function layer set for this as well. So you can function the entire keyboard on a subset, which is obviously going to be good if you're using macros, etc. The keycaps and the switches were kind of a surprise to me. Double shot PBTs with an in-house Marvo switch. It's actually branded Marvo on there. It's very difficult to get that tiny little text on camera, but it's a Marvo switch. They pre-lubed as well, and they're yellows, but they act like reds basically. They've got the same kind of general feel as a red, Cherry MX sort of red, although a little bit less spongy and a little bit more linear is the bullet point of the presentation. Pretty decent backlighting as well. None of the keys actually have shine through, but you should still be able with this backlighting to see it in a darker environment. Around the back there's a double kickstand as well, full rubberizing on all of the corners, and then you can have it in 2 different positions based on that. I always like the higher position because I've got absolute sausages for hands. So the higher point suited me, but you can have it pretty flat or you can increase the angle over there. And really nicely finished. They are very sturdy, doesn't feel like they're gonna break that easily. The little rubber pieces on them, the glue was a little bit soft after that, but if you need to replace it, you can just go get a piece of rubber and glue it into position as an example. But I don't think it's going to be an issue, it's just something to note from the packaging and experience. Then around the top, you've got a molded little Type-C input over there. It is quite wide on the mold over there, so you're going to be able to plug it in quite easily. It is a plastic overall frame and chassis. I think the internals, there must be some sort of metal because it is pretty heavy. It's very sturdy. It doesn't have much flex. I mean, I'm giving it a go, and yeah, I'm not exactly, I don't want to do more than that because I probably will still break it because yes, I'm a bit of a gorilla. So on the surface of things, overwhelming like price versus performance. It's got a 4,000 milliamp battery as well. So the wireless is not just a gimmick. It's something that you could probably use for days, even with the LED lighting. And that brings me to the only thing I think was missing from this. The software is a little bit like clunky. It's very, very rudimentary and basic sort of looking, but everything is there. It still functions fully. I'm sure as they go down the line with their software development, they'll make it look nicer. But functionally, everything worked. It didn't like it on the wireless. The wireless didn't seem to pick up with the software, but the moment I used the cable, then everything was connected. So you might need to do that to change your settings and your functions, which hardly I think is the end of the world. What was so stunning to me with this is the feel of it. It is exceptionally good. The bottom mount feel is fantastic. The switch feel is really good. For typing, I actually prefer this to my very expensive GMMK Pro. I just got to be honest with that. I felt like this felt a lot better. The bottom mount feel on my keyboard is a big problem. Where this has a plastic gasket at the back and just mostly is connecting into the PCB, as you'll see with the top mount LED on the PCB and the way that they've done the sort of default dipole switch, you'll be able to upgrade and change this pretty much on the fly. So it's a fully modular wireless base for 1,000 Rand, which is already good value, but then it comes fully built. I genuinely think it's one of the best bang for buck, if not the best bang for buck keyboard I've ever seen. I think this is actually even better than the Storm. These switches feel way better than the Storm set did. And yeah, the overall audio, absolutely no hint of stabilizer clack. That's kind of unreal. These are available on Uncle Evetech. I believe they come with a 1-year warranty as well, but you'll be able to change and upgrade and stuff with it. I don't know if getting a spare PCB for this will be possible, but in general then for $1,000 though, if you got a couple of extra switches or you bought and kept like with a mate who also had a modular keyboard, or they're not the end of the world, is what, like $400 for a couple of switches these days, and then you'd be right back on the road. So yeah, modular is definitely the way to go with keyboards, and Marvo's kind of getting in ahead of the game with a lot of the value. There are a number of Chinese manufacturers that are making keyboards like this, and this one I like. It's slightly unique because they all honestly coming out of the same factory. I mean, let's just be real. But yeah, this one has left a massive impression on me. If I had to replace my keyboard, I'd probably just get this because it feels so flipping good. Anywho, that is all I have for you on the Marvo Meqa 80W. If you ever enjoyed this, please do hit us up with a like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the flip side.